Okay, let's talk about the 401k. It's easily one of the most powerful tools out there for building wealth, but honestly, it's also one of the most misunderstood. And that's what we're going to fix right now. We're going to break down what it is, how it works, and exactly how you can use it to build a seriously amazing future.
But before we dive in, I've got to ask you a really important question. Right now, at this very moment, are you actively turning down free money? Because let me tell you, if you have a 401k at work and you're not using it correctly, the answer is almost definitely yes.
And look, this isn't just some small oversight. Not putting in enough to get your company's full match, it's literally like looking at your boss and saying, you know what? You can keep part of my salary this year. It is one of the biggest and most common money mistakes people make. Let's make sure you're not one of them.
So how do we fix this? We're going to start with the single most powerful part of the 401k. I call it the ultimate money hack, the employer match. But hang on, let's do a quick reset. What even is a 401k? Well, think of it as a special savings account you get through your job. And its first superpower is that it lets you save money before the government takes taxes out. This actually lowers your taxable income for the year, which means you get a nice little tax break today just for saving for your future.
That tax break is awesome, don't get me wrong, but that's not the real magic. The true game changer, the thing that no other investment can do for you, is the employer match.
All right, let's break this down with some real numbers so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's say you're making $60,000 a year. Okay, so a super common deal employers offer is something like, we'll match 100% of what you put in up to 3% of your salary. So to get all that free money, you decide to contribute 3%. On a $60,000 salary, that comes out to $1,800 over the course of the year.
And just because you did that, your employer holds up their end of the bargain. They put in another $1,800. This is literally free cash, brand new money that appears in your account just because you decided to save.
So to stop and think about that for a second, you put in $1,800 of your own money, but a total of $3,600 actually lands in your investment account. Your contribution was instantly doubled. That right there is the power of the match. It is an immediate, guaranteed 100% return on your money before you've even invested in anything. I'm telling you, you will not find another investment anywhere on earth that can guarantee you that. It's incredible. Okay, so you're in, you're ready to get that match. Awesome. But now you hit the next big choice, because a lot of jobs now offer two different flavors of 401k, the traditional and the Roth. The difference between them really boils down to one simple question. Do you want to pay taxes now, or do you want to pay them later? With the traditional 401k, the money goes in pre-tax, so you get that tax break today. But you'll pay taxes on it when you take it out in retirement. With a Roth, it's the opposite. You pay taxes on the money now, but then it grows, and it's all completely tax-free when you retire. So, which one's for you? Well, here's the deal. For most people who are early in their careers, the Roth is an absolute power move. Why? Well, think about it. You're probably in a lower tax bracket right now than you will be in 10, 20, or 30 years. So it makes a ton of sense to just pay the taxes now while your rate is lower and let all that amazing growth happen completely tax-free forever. All right, so you're contributing enough to get the match. You've picked between Roth and traditional, and then you hit a wall. You get to the part that honestly paralyzes a lot of people. What in the world do you actually invest your money in? You log into the website and, whoa, you're hit with a list of dozens of funds with confusing names and weird ticker symbols. It's so easy to just feel completely lost and give up. But please don't. The best strategy here is almost always the simplest one. I'm going to give you a dead simple two-step plan. Ready? Step 1, look for something called a target date fund. It'll usually have a year in the name, like Retirement 2060 Fund or Target 2065. These are amazing because they're a fully diversified set it and forget it option. And step 2, if you see a few different target date funds, just pick the one with the lowest expense ratio. Think of that as a tiny annual fee. You want one that's under, say, 0.20%. That's it. You pick that and you're done. Seriously. Okay, now that you're all set up for success, we need to talk defense. Let's cover the most common and costly traps that can totally sabotage all your hard work and your retirement savings. All right, pop quiz time. When you leave a company and move on to a new job, what is the single worst, most destructive mistake you can possibly make with your old 401k? I'll give you a second to think about it. So here are the biggest traps people fall into. There's not enrolling right away, which is leaving free money on the table, contributing less than the match, which is like saying no thanks to a raise, choosing funds with super high fees that just eat away your returns over time. But the answer to our quiz, the absolute worst, most financially devastating mistake of all, is cashing out your 401k when you leave a job.
You might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's my money. Well, here's the big deal. Let's say you have $20,000 in there. If you cash it out, first, you get hit with income taxes on the whole amount. Then you get slapped with a 10% early withdrawal penalty on top of that. Your 20 grand could instantly shrink down to $13,000 or maybe even less. It's a disaster. The rule is simple. Always, always roll it over.
Phew, okay. We've gone through a ton of info, but I want to boil all of this down into a mission, an immediate action plan that is so simple you can literally do it in the next 5 minutes. Here it is, your 3-step mission. 1. Log into your employee benefits website. 2. Find out exactly what your company's 401k match policy is. And 3. Go to your contribution settings and set your percentage high enough to get every single penny of that free money. Boom, done.
And just by doing that, you have flipped a switch on one of the most powerful wealth-building engines you will ever have in your entire career. This isn't just about some far-off retirement anymore. This is about funding the life you want. So I'll leave you with this. Now that you've unlocked this tool, what's the first big goal you're going to start saving for?